Well, on to the biggest story of the day. It's the second time in 2 days where Uddhav Thackeray has given an emotional speech. This comes at a time when his government is at the brink of collapse in Maharashtra. He has challenged the rebel MLAs to continue without Shivsena and Balasaheb's name. Now, I'm joined by my reporters on ground. Sandeep joins me from Fadnavis's residence. Ketan is at Sena Bhavan there. And Shweta is also with me live from YB Chavan Center in Mumbai. And Abhishek, who's been reporting all this while from Guwahati. Thank you for joining us this evening with all the ground updates. Ketan, I want to come to you first. We did see action earlier in the day at Sena Bhavan, and now you have Uddhav Thackeray, who's once again given an emotional speech, and this comes second time in just 2 days.
Yeah, absolutely, Charlene. I told you since day one that the magic of Shivsena, a cadre-based party, is in its common workers, Shiv Sainiks, who keep the party together. This is not the first time when a rebellion has happened in the party. It happened during Chhagan Bhujbal's time, Narayan Rane's time, even Raj Thackeray, one of their own. And there were MLAs that left the party, but the party remained intact. I have with me, I'll quickly take you to the former mayor of Mumbai, Mr. Mahadev Deole, who was also a common Sena worker, then he became a corporator and then the mayor of Mumbai. आज जो भावुक आह्वान किया है उद्धव साहब ने, और आपको याद होगा कि जब आपको महापौर बनाया गया तो क्या याद आता है कि बाला साहब ने आपको फोन किया और कि किस तरह से बताया था?
मैं एक सिंपल शिव सैनिक है और बाला साहब का मैं निष्ठावंत शिव सैनिक हूँ। मुझे जब बाला साहब ने बुला के मुझे महापौर दिलाया और जब बुलाया तो उसी वक्त मेरे को बोला, सब पूछकर मेरे को बोला कि आप कैसे काम करेंगे, क्या करेंगे। बोला आपका जैसे आदेश आएगा उस तरफ से उनके अनुसार मैं काम करते रहूँगा और जो काम करूँगा वो सही काम करूँगा, प्रामाणिक मन से काम करूँगा और मेरी परिस्थिति भी जैसी है वैसा वही ख्याल में आखिर तक रखूँगा। और बाला साहब ने बोला कि जाओ मंदिर वही बनाया और महापौर बनाया।
और आप महापौर रहे मुंबई के, हमने देखा है आपका कार्यकाल। और आज जब उद्धव साहब ने यही भावनात्मक आह्वान किया कि पेड़ के पत्ते तो गिरेंगे लेकिन पेड़ की शाखाएं मजबूत होनी चाहिए, तो उस पे आप एक छोटी सी प्रतिक्रिया आपकी जानना चाहेंगे?
तो ये चाहूँगा कि जब बाला साहब थे जब तो सभी उत्साह था, मराठी आदमी जो है उनको स्वाभिमान से यानी रखा। और जब उद्धव साहब के हाथ में जब ये आई पक्ष प्रमुख बन गए, उसी वक्त से उद्धव साहब बहुत ही अच्छे तरह से काम कर रहा था, सबको विश्वास में लेके काम कर रहा था।
बगावत के बारे में आप क्या देखते?
आज की बगावत के बारे में यही बोलूँगा कि इस एकनाथ शिंदे को भी बहुत कुछ नगर विकास मंत्री बनाया, उसके ऊपर विश्वास रखा और सभी आमदारों के ऊपर विश्वास रखा, लेकिन उद्धव साहब को ऐसा नहीं लगा कि जन के ऊपर मैं विश्वास रखा है वही मेरा विश्वासघात करेगा। कभी उनके दिल में भी आया नहीं, कुछ नहीं है। और जो ईमानदार से बोलते थे कि हम शिवसेना के निष्ठ है, एक निष्ठ हूँ, और वही आज निकल गए हैं एकनाथ शिंदे और सभी आमदार है। मैं तो यही कहूँगा कि जाने वाले ने थोड़ा सा सोचना चाहिए था कि हम बाला साहब के शिव सैनिक है, हमें जाना नहीं चाहिए, रहना है तो हम शिवसेना में रहेंगे। वही एकनाथ शिंदे को बोलना था और एकनाथ शिंदे ने भी यही करना चाहिए था कि मैं शिवसेना छोड़ के कहीं भी नहीं जाऊंगा, मुझे कौन सी भी लालच दे दो लेकिन मैं लालच को बलि नहीं पड़ूंगा, यही करना था। लेकिन जब उद्धव साहब को धोखा दे के वो अगर गुवाहाटी गया, सूरत में गया, अरे मुंबई में तुम लोग मीटिंग लेके बोल सकता था कि ऐसा ऐसा है, नहीं तो उसके पहले बोलता था उद्धव साहब मैं ऐसा ऐसा हम लोग नाराज है तो इसमें बदल करो, नहीं तो अलग बात होगी।
बिल्कुल।
लेकिन किसी ने भी सुना नहीं और वहाँ चला गया और उद्धव साहब को दुख देके गया। लेकिन ये सभी शिव सैनिक है, जुना नया सभी शिव सैनिक है, माता है, भगिनी है, बांधव है, हाँ ब्रदर्स है, सब लोग ने अभी उद्धव साहब को एकदम साथ दिया है। उनके पीछे भी मैं एक सामान्य
बिल्कुल
मैं गरीब घराने से मेरे को बनाया, लेकिन हमने कभी शिवसेना को कलंक नहीं लगाया। तो मैं यही बोलना चाहते थे, यही बोलूंगा, देखो अरे याद है तो आबाद है, अरे याद है तो आबाद है, भूल गए बर्बाद हो गए हैं। ये जिंदगी देने के लिए है, लेने के लिए नहीं है, लेने के लिए नहीं है। जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र जी।
So that is the emotion. He's literally choked with emotion. A very senior Shiv Sainik who saw his way up from being a common Shiv Sena worker to a corporator and mayor. And it's these Shiv Sainik that form the backbone of the party despite the ever-developing political situation. Charlene?
Right, Ketan, certainly, an emotional appeal from Uddhav Thackeray, definitely, but also the Shiv Sena workers on ground are also, emotional at this point in time. And we can see clearly from what he said, there is a lateral split between Uddhav camp and Shiv Sena camp. But what we're also seeing is a vertical split between the MLAs and as well as Sena workers. As on the one hand, you do have MLAs, rebel MLAs who are supporting Eknath Shinde, but Sena workers on ground, most of them still favouring the Thackerays and reprimanding Shinde's rebellion. Ketan, stay with me. Let me go across to Abhishek, who is tracking all the live developments in Guwahati. Abhishek, we're seeing a slew of rebel MLAs continue to enter the hotel since last night. What is the latest that you're picking up from Guwahati?
Yes, definitely. If we talk about today's update, one Sena MLA, Dilip Lande, has added in the Shinde's camp and bringing up the tally to 38 of the Sena camp. So at that time, Shinde has 38 of the Sena MLAs and around 9 independent, taking the count to 47 at the moment. And definitely more two Sena MLAs are expected to arrive. So that might touch to a figure of 40. But meetings are happening. And one point I want you to understand is that definitely a proposal has been put before the Deputy Speaker for disqualification of 16 MLAs. If that disqualification is approved, then the tally over here will again reduce. And that will again reduce from the total tally of the assembly. And that's where the MVA will benefit. Definitely, there are backdoor channel talks which are continuously going on. And back to back in 2 days,
Abhishek, I'll have to cut you in there. Abhishek, I'll have to cut you in there. Stay with me. I'll come back to you soon. I'm also joined by Mahesh Tapase of the NCP there. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to Mirror. I appreciate your time. Is the Shiv Sena slipping away from the Thackerays? Up until now, Sena and Thackerays were synonymous with each other, but looks like the rebel MLAs are all supporting Eknath Shinde, and the support for him is only swelling.
Well, I really do not know, and I'm not authority to comment whether the Sena is slipping out of the hands of the Thackeray family. But I can definitely tell you that we as NCP are standing by the Chief Minister and the Mahavikas Aghadi government. And we are ensuring that the Mahavikas Aghadi government remains in office and completes its full term. As far as the disqualification of MLAs is concerned, I think Shivsena has written to the Deputy Speaker of Maharashtra regarding disqualification of 16 members of the Legislative Assembly, and an appropriate decision will take place. And I think that this is slightly a long-drawn legal battle in the days to come. So nothing that immediately they are going to fly into Mumbai and tomorrow the floor test will happen and everything will be over. I don't see any kind of such possibility in the next 3-4 days.
Right. Also, Mr. Tapase, how do you respond to the developments that we've seen in the recent past? Yesterday, we also saw Sanjay Raut, make the statement where he said that Sena will they will rethink their alliance with the NCP and Congress only if the rebel MLAs first return to Mumbai. How do you see those comments in the light of whatever is happening in Maharashtra?
It was a very conditional comment, and I think Mr. Sanjay Raut reiterated the same thing what Honorable Uddhav Thackeray, CM of Maharashtra, said in his address to his party colleagues and legislators in his Facebook Live address, in which Mr. Uddhav Thackeray said that first come here if you think that I'm not capable enough to run the show, or if you think I'm not capable to handle the party affairs, then we'll see what has to be done. But first come here and talk to me. So this is what Uddhav Thackeray ji has also told his MLAs, and this is exactly what Sanjay Raut ji is also telling his MLAs. First come into Mumbai, talk to us, what is your problem? We don't give directions from there. Whatever it is an in-house problem. We can sit and always deliberate on that. I think this is the proper appeal which any party leader has a right to make to his cadre and to his legislators. And we have seen whenever such a situation happens, and I feel like this is always made, by the top leadership of any political party.
Right. Also, Mr. Tapasi, we've discussed and debated multiple scenarios that could happen, considering that the support for Eknath Shinde is only rising. What do you say is NCP's strategy, game plan going forward in the worst case scenario?
See, NCP came into power along with Shivsena after the Shivsena decided to break away from the BJP. Till that time, given the numbers that we had and given the numbers that the Congress party had, we had decided to sit in the opposition. It was only after a month of deliberation and discussion that no government was being formed that the Shivsena finally decided to break away from the BJP, and they approached us. And then a big decision to accommodate Shivsena and to match ideologies was taken at the highest level in Delhi and in Mumbai. And then we see that Mr. Uddhav Thackeray was sworn in as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. And 2.5 years, our government has been functioning absolutely well. He was also nominated as the top 5 chief ministers in the country. So Maharashtra tided over the corona crisis. The economy was in dual terms, and now we see that the Honorable Deputy CM and the Finance Minister is not, stopping at anything and not even cutting down to size any development scheme for lack of funds.
All right, Mr. Tapasi, thank you so much for sharing all those inputs with us.